I'm going to show you exactly how to create 100 social media images, about a year's worth of posts in about 10 minutes. And as a little bonus, if you stick around, I will show you 2 different ways to add images to those posts, and also how you can loop those evergreen posts so that you don't need to keep coming up with new, fresh content all the time. All right, are you ready? Let's go. So I'm using Ninja Social's AI Writer for this, and you just go into the AI Writer and click Start Writing. The first time you go in, it's going to ask you some questions about your business, your audience, all that good stuff. And we're going to go in and select, you can do something like industry specific tips, inspirational, or engagement for this. You could pick something else. I'm just going to go ahead and do industry specific tips. You want to do a category that's very evergreen, okay? And right here, you'll notice that it's asking what industry or topic you want tips for. Mine in this case is for social media marketing tips. And we're going to create 10 posts at a time. I'm okay with it adding its own hashtags. It's not really necessary because Ninja Social has hashtag groups built in that allow you to create different hashtag groups based on your different topics that you talk about. So you could omit the hashtags here and use the hashtag groups feature when you add the posts in. But for this, I'm just going to let it include the hashtags. Go ahead and add an emoji. And my call to action, this is not correct. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this. Okay, my new call to action is ready to make social media simple. Learn more at, and then the URL for Ninja Social Suite. Okay, and we're just going to click Generate AI Chatbot Prompt. Now, you'll notice I've got a Chat GPT window on the right. You can just ignore all this. This is from a plugin that I use, but this is Chat GPT. It has created a new conversation, and super duper easy. You just copy the top prompt up here, paste it in, and submit it. And ChatGPT is going to immediately create 10 posts for you. Okay, while that's running, we're going to change the optional refinements. And what we want to do is convert social posts into a bulk CSV that can upload and schedule in this software. Okay, so this is going to be our next prompt right here. And you'll see it's still going. I'll just pause. You can use the free or paid version of ChatGPT for this. So you don't have to use GPT-4. You can use the free version if you want to. This is almost done. As soon as it's done, we're just going to paste in this second prompt here. We're converting it to a table. All right, I'm just pasting that in now. And it's going to spit out this really nice table for me that we can paste into Google Sheet. Okay, now I want you to go ahead and do these steps 9 more times. I've already started doing them a few more times. So basically, you're just going to go to step 1, paste that in, let it go. And as soon as it's done processing, go ahead and click this right here and add it in here. Hit enter. It's going to create your next 10. The reason we don't want to do this all at once is because ChatGPT does have some limitations as far as its output, how many letters it can output, and also because ChatGPT can tend to get derailed a little bit sometimes, right? So let's just give it 10 at a time. It makes it easier for ChatGPT to actually give you all of the information back in the way that you want it. And we're just going to let it go until you have done this a total of 10 times. Okay, once that is done, you're going to scroll all the way up to your very first table that ChatGPT created for you and hit copy code. Then you're going to go to a Google Sheet. Move this window out of the way. I have a Google Sheet here, and right in column A. Now, ChatGPT has given you the instructions on how to do this. It's right there, or you can kind of like pause and follow along with me. You're just going to paste that in. The next thing you'll do is paste in the second table it gave you, the third, all the way through the 10th. I'll hit pause so you don't have to watch me do all that. Okay, before I blow your mind a little bit in just a moment here, I want to just take a moment to explain that this is really part of a larger strategy. So one of the things that I teach to save time and energy with your social media, make social media simple, to be able to have a presence on multiple social media channels without actually being present there all the time is to create a bunch of evergreen posts for different post categories. This one is tips. You can do engagement. There's other types of categories, right, that you can post. And just create a loop where it's just posting those evergreen posts over and over again. By evergreen, I mean these are timeless posts that are still going to apply, years from now. They're still going to make sense. They're not just something related to today, right now, what's happening in your life, what's happening in the world, that type of thing. And so these will still be relevant for quite some time. Now, if you go and create all of these posts and you put them on a loop, so they're just posting over and over again, and you don't have to think about that, then you can focus your time and energy on being present on just one social media channel and posting those more timely types of things, behind the scenes, what's going on in your business or your personal life, things that are relevant to the world right now, today, your holiday posts, which Ninja Social has holiday posts built in if you are on the Pro plan or the Social Samurai plan. They do also have on the Social Samurai plan engagement posts and inspirational posts, and there's like word games for the weekend, which is engagement posts, that type of thing. So they do already create those types of posts. But these right now that we're working on are industry specific tips, right? Whereas the ones built into Ninja Social are not necessarily specific to your industry. They're a little more general, and they're definitely good posts, but this is going to give you a little bit more, build a little bit more know, like, and trust with your audience without you having to spend a lot of time on all these different platforms, okay? So that you can be present and building on just one platform, so you're not running yourself ragged and trying to do everything, being everywhere all at once. Okay. And so what we're going to do here is clean up this Google sheet. I've got, all these records here that I created. It didn't take very long. My ChatGPT was actually being a bit on the slow side. I think it's because I was using GPT-4 possibly. I think sometimes GPT 3.5 is a little faster for me. But what we're going to do is go in and clean out these rows, not the first one, the header row, but all these other header rows that came over. So you're just going to right click those records and delete. Okay, I've deleted all of those header type rows. I now have 101 records in here because I do still have the first header here. And what we're going to do is click on column A and click data, and then split the text into columns. Then you're going to get this little dialogue at the bottom where you tell it how you want it to recognize the different columns. Just choose semicolon, and there we go. Now we have our link in in the link column. Now I am seeing that I may have a little bit of problem on a couple of these. Let's see. Yeah, I have a couple where it has split. So I'm going to take a peek at that real quick. Okay, no worries. This will still be a quick cleanup. I did notice that ChatGPT threw a semicolon into a couple of my posts, and that's why it split it out into multiple columns. So all you have to do at that point is just grab your text, Control X, and put a little space right here and paste it in. And then we need to go ahead and move this link back over into the proper column. I'm going to clean that up a little bit, and we'll be right back. Okay, this is good now. ChatGPT is not perfect. You're always going to have to just take a look, do a little bit of cleanup if you need to. I actually, on my very first one, initially, it was putting this link in the image URL column, and I just had to tell it not to do that, right? So sometimes you have to make a few tweaks here and there. I do also recommend editing through these and putting your human touch on them. When we go into Ninja Social, I'll show you where you can do that. You can edit all of these posts before you push them out, actually make them live and get them on your schedule. If you are choosing to go the Canva route and make custom images, you'll want to go ahead and create those images. I'll show you how to do that. And then you need to put the image URL in this column before we do the next step. I'm actually not going to do that for mine. I don't really have time to come back and, put the image URL on 100 different records right now. I want to just get this out, get it done quickly. And so I'm not going to do that right now. You can actually go ahead and upload this to Ninja Social and add the Canva images after the fact. So that's another way to do it. You can just do these with no image at all. And this is the part where I'm about to blow your mind. Okay, so we're actually going to save this. Let me see, we need it as a CSV file. So we're just going to go to file, let's see, download. Okay, download CSV, and we'll just throw it right into our downloads folder. That is fine. Then we're going to go over to Ninja Social, to the publish window, and click import. We should be on CSV. If you're not, go ahead and click that, and you're going to click and select your CSV file. Okay, and then you'll want to choose which social profiles you're going to post to. I'm just going to do Facebook right now. You may have several more social profiles right here. Just decide which ones you want it to go to. Then you're going to select your category. For this, I'm doing tips, and I do want it to repost based on my queue schedule. You will want to make sure that up here in your schedule, you have two, you could have more if you want to, but if you have two spots on your calendar for this category of posts to this whatever social platforms you have posted here, that is going to give you about a year's worth of content. Okay, you may end up realizing that a couple of the posts ChatGPT created are maybe just kind of garbage, and so maybe you won't quite have a year, but you're going to get close, and we're going to loop it so you don't even have to do this ever again if you don't want to. You certainly can and add more things to your queue, but this is where we blow your mind. Okay, so you can add hashtags. So what you can do, and I haven't even added my hashtag groups yet, but if initially when we told ChatGPT to create these posts, we had unchecked the hashtags box, or you could have it there if you wanted to, but we can add our own hashtags at this point, basically. And in Ninja Social, you can have hashtag groups, it's called, and you can give it a name like industry tips. And then what you would do is put your hashtag list here, hashtag social media scheduling, hashtag social media marketing. You see what I'm doing? Okay. And you can actually do a little research and have these be different on every single platform. Not only that, but you can tell it how many hashtags from the list that you want it to choose from. So, for example, if you want it to do 10 hashtags on Instagram, but only 4 on Pinterest and 3 on Twitter, that type of thing, what it will do is randomly choose for every post hashtags from your list that you've already decided is a good list of hashtags. So how cool is that? It's pretty amazing, right? I'm going to cancel out of this for now. I'm just going to go ahead and use the hashtags that ChatGPT created for me. I will probably do a little bit more research on my platform of choice where I'm going to be doing those more timely posts that we talked about. Okay. And then if you decided that you didn't want to have, I didn't talk about this, but on our call to action that we gave ChatGPT, it's putting the same call to action on every single post. So if you wanted to choose not to do that, you could choose from one of these call to action groups or create your own. So you could add a call to action group called like industry specific post, something like that. And it's the same type of thing with the hashtags, where you can choose what you want in each of these, and you can have it say, like visit my website and put the URL in there, and you can have many different variations of visit my website for more tips, or whatever your call to action is going to be on these. So then it would shuffle through those for each platform. Like, for example, on Facebook, you might say like my page, but on Instagram, you might say subscribe, that type of thing. So, or follow, I think it is on Instagram. Somewhere else, you might say subscribe. And so you can have different calls to action in each social platform and create call to actions based on that. So very, very cool feature. Since I did go ahead and put the same call to action on every single post, because you know what, I'm just trying to be fast here, and I didn't have this created yet, I'm going to go ahead and hit add to queue. Now, what you can do actually is you want to hit hold post for my approval. Make sure that's selected. That is going to give you the chance to go in and edit the post before they just schedule out. So if your next posting time for this tips category, for example, is like 5 minutes from now, this is going to give you time to go edit the post before it just, goes out. And you're going to maybe want to do that if you want to add images. So from there, I'm just going to hit add to queue. Oh my gosh, this is where all the magic happens. And it's saying no errors found, all messages processed. We're going to go over to my queue now, and you're going to see we have all of these tips being held for my approval. This is crazy. All right. Now, as I told you, there's different ways to add images. I'll show you the Canva bulk image creation method in just a moment. But what you can do is click on each post. You'll do this for each post, hit edit. And at this point, you could, if you don't want to add your Canva image URL to each post in the Google Sheet, then you could add your Canva image here. Okay, I don't know why it just added this. Oh, okay, this is actually the image from my website. So I'm just gonna X that out because I want to add a custom image to some of my posts or all of my posts. I haven't decided yet, right? So this one is about AI. So maybe I'll do a little search for the term AI. But as I was saying, you could upload an image. So if you don't want to add all of your Canva image URLs to the Google Sheet, you could hit upload image and pull it from your hard drive or your cloud, whatever. You can pull it from your computer. Just have to go and locate each one of those, which one actually matches this tip. Okay. So you can do upload image. I'm going to do a search for an image and just try AI computer just to see what comes up. I don't know what they have in the library for this, but you can search Pexels or Pixabay. So if the one that pops up doesn't have what you want, you can choose the other one. And let's see, another option for this would be I can change my search terms if I don't see what I want. Usually it comes up with some pretty cool pictures depending on your topic, right? AI, it's obviously going to give me some like robots and other kind of techie things. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not really fond of that. So let me do working on computer. Okay, so maybe I'll get one of just somebody working on their computer. Here's, let's see, we'll do this one. Select. Okay, so now I have an image and I can add my watermark. So I can do my logo right there on the image. It's in the right category. We've already got everything else selected that we want. And I'm just going to hit add to queue. And you can go into each one and do this. So you just go to your, actually it's in the queue right here. Okay, held for approval. You're just going to go in and edit each one. Now, I know I promised to show you how to bulk create a bunch of images in Canva. So let me continue to blow your mind just a little bit in case you haven't seen how you can do this. Now, in Canva, you'll want to go in and create your kind of base image with the different features that you want on here. So yours might be a lot fancier than mine, but that's okay. Just go ahead and do what you want. This is where I want my text, and I want to have my, ninjasocialsuite.com on here, just as an example. Okay. You might have your face on there. You might have, just some cool elements on there, whatever you want. So then you're going to go to apps in the left sidebar and hit bulk create. and it's telling you add your data. So then you're going to hit upload CSV, grab that CSV that we pulled from Google Sheets, and you'll see it's pulling in all the different fields here. We don't need all the fields. We really just need this message to go in this text box. So you're going to come over here to text, hit more, and let me find it. Connect data. Okay, and a message is what goes in this text box. Okay. And I've got my video controls are kind of hiding this. Let me hit this purple button right here. Okay, apply data. So here we go. We see this is all the data from that message column, and we're just going to hit generate. And as you can see, this is going to give you a whopping boatload of images. Now, I should have first made this quite a bit smaller. So I definitely recommend that you play around with it. You might find that yours is like too long and you need to make it smaller. You can always kind of start over again with the import. You could delete, the extras, start over again with the import if you're finding that everything is just too big for your text. For this, I would definitely recommend turning off the hashtags for ChatGPT to be creating the hashtags, and probably turning off the call to action as well. So then they would all look something like this, depending on how big your text is. So, social media tip: batch creating content saves your sanity. Spend a day planning and scheduling a month's worth of posts with Ninja Social Suite. How did it know that you can do that in Ninja Social Suite? Because I trained it. I trained it in in Ninja Social. I trained it. There's a little spot in the settings. I told you it'll run you through the first time you use the AI writer where you import your information. Okay. And then I also told it that I wanted all these posts to be about social media marketing, right? So that's what all these tips will be about. So I hope that helps. Another cool, let me just give you one more cool Ninja tip. In Google Sheets, if you are a social media manager and you are using this to create posts for your clients, you can go in and let's say you are specifically targeting, your clients are all in the same niche, like maybe they're all realtors, for example, or they're all let's see, like they all talk about the same topic, right? So realtors is a good example, or maybe they're all people in the trying to think, online courses industry. Like maybe they all teach about how to create online courses. I don't know. Anyway, what you can do is do a find and replace on this first little part that you got from ChatGPT based on the type of tips you told it that you wanted, and replace that with something really specific to your client's brand. So you can have it replace all of these that say, in my example, social media marketing tip. Maybe I would want to, if my client was Ninja Social, right? I might actually customize that to say from Ninja Social marketing tip or something like that, and then my customer would feel that I have really created these specifically for them or their audience. So that is definitely something you can do as well. And then you don't have to regenerate. If these tips apply to multiple clients that you have, you don't have to regenerate them. You can just make this a little bit more customized. And another thing that you can do if you'd like is you can kind of like shuffle this data so that these records aren't all in the same order for each of your clients. So just a little extra ninja tip for you there. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope it blew your mind a little bit, creating an entire year's worth of content in the ChatGPT part of it, and getting it all into Ninja Social should take you about 10 minutes if you're speedy, 15 to 20 if you're not. That is like nothing for a year's worth of content, right? And then you can go in and do this for other categories as well, such as inspiration, that type of thing. You can come up with inspirational quotes or something like that and just use the AI writer for that. And you're going to have your feed in all your social profiles completely filled up in no time. so that you can actually spend your time working on what matters and what's driving income for your business, and really focusing on just one platform to create content and really engage with your audience and build up that know, like, and trust factor even more, and really drive conversions to your products, services, or opportunity. So if you'd like more tips like that, remember to subscribe, hit the like button on this video so that I know that you want to hear more on this topic, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Ninja.